Hi, I'm Melanie Sage. I'm an assistant professor of social work at the University at Buffalo, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about theory today related to adult learning in online spaces. Now, we all love learners who are self-motivated, of course, and we talk about how important self-motivation is in online learning especially. I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the theories that drive how we think that happens. Now, you've probably heard of pedagogy, which is the theory about how people learn, but it was really started and applied mostly to how children learn. Andragogy is sort of a parallel theory about how adults learn. And some of the ways are very similar, but the idea about adult learning is that they're more self-directed, they're drawing on their previous experiences. They want to learn what they most need to know, and they really want to understand why this is relevant to their lives and future work experiences in our case. So motivation is enhanced when learners find high relevance and are highly interested in what they're learning. They feel efficacious, like the goals are achievable and they're having some success in reaching them. So of course it's very frustrating and sometimes makes people want to give up when they feel like they've got an impossible goal or they're not getting better. And also when they can self-regulate, so they feel like they have the skills to do the job. And in a perfect world, we'd want learners to come with all these things already to our classrooms. But the truth is that we can really do some things to enhance some of these outcomes. Self-regulation is then related to student motivation. Self-regulated learners are involved. They adjust their learning techniques to have more success. They have things like time management skills and help-seeking abilities. Here are some ways that you can think about enhancing self-efficacy, which leads to better self-regulation in the classroom. Use a consistent weekly pace to promote better time management for the students. For instance, in my classroom, I open up the delivery system in the learning management modules on Mondays. I encourage students to do their reading on Mondays through Wednesdays and post to our Flipgrid video discussion board between Wednesday and Friday, and then post replies to other students on the board Friday through Sunday. My assignments are always due Sunday at midnight. So this way students don't have to constantly hunt for information. They know what to expect. There's a theme to the week. Now, of course, some students have to make some adjustments to that theme. For instance, some will do all their work very early in the week. And that's okay because then they can be in control of their learning and their pace for the week. But to provide that structure from the outset helps with their time management. Make information in the learning management system easy to find. So if you're using modules, for instance, orient students to where those are and how they open them up. Use consistent ways of communicating material or important information. So I use announcements, for instance, a lot, and I always check the little box that says send this to the email. So students can go to the announcements for weekly reminders, but also get it delivered right to their email system. Provide a weekly snapshot of readings and assignments. So they have a little mini checklist for the week. And yes, it's already in the syllabus in most cases, but it doesn't take a lot of extra time to transfer that information over to the beginning of your module and just serves as another reminder of what you're up to for that week. Provide formative feedback so learners know that they're on the right track. So if you're building up to an assignment that's worth a lot of points, especially, you want to have some opportunity to give students some written or verbal or graded feedback that says, yes, you're doing this the right way. And then just talk to learners about ways that they can protect their space and time. So this can look a lot of different ways, depending on your students' needs and what you're worried about in terms of their motivation and the issues that might disrupt it. For instance, if you're doing a live online class in the evenings for working adult students who have maybe child disruptions or other things going on in their lives, they've just worked all day, take a few minutes to just kind of normalize that it's been a busy day. We're going to do our best to be together. Maybe do a little grounding activity to check in. That just gives a little bit of space to say, um, we're going to try to center ourselves and be together right now. And you're making it just real explicit instead of an implicit expectation that they're kind of managing their energy and attention. Another thing that I do is I ask students at the beginning of the semester to talk about the organizational tools that they'll be using this semester. And I ask them to make a little video on Flipgrid of their workspace. So this gives them time to actually think about, like, where am I going to work and how am I doing? And I need to put some tools together. How am I going to do this? It also allows for some peer exchange about activities that might be helpful in terms of organization. And it gives me a little look into the lives of my students because in this time they usually talk about some of their distractions. Like maybe they don't have a working space at home and they're juggling from a lot of different places, or they have to go out to the library for working space. And that's all important information for us to have, and sometimes requires some troubleshooting or maybe a follow-up discussion later as well. These ideas come from our text, Teaching Social Work with Digital Technology, which is published by CSWE Press. And this work was built in consultation while writing with co-authors Laurel Iverson Hitchcock and Nancy Smith. I hope you'll come back and hear more about ways to support students in their online learning.